Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I want to talk about something that I get asked all the times, YouTube comments, and especially on the Twitch stream. People always love to ask me, how long does it take to progress on this game? Do you really need like a stupid amount of time to progress? And is it actually possible to progress on this game just through doing your dailies? Or do you need to spend like 8 hours a day training every single day, no matter what optimal rates? You have to try super hard to get far. Is all of that true? I want to answer that question in this video by showing you how far you can get just by doing your dailies on this game. So not training for many hours a day, just from doing your dailies. And then I want to show you how far you'll get by training for 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day. And then obviously anything more than that, you're playing this game for a lot of time, so of course you're going to progress over time. Some people also think that this game is just straight up like a pay to win game where you can't progress past CRA unless you spend like thousands of dollars or something like that, which just is not true at all. Now, to be fair, some aspects of this game have been getting more and more like pay to winny, like VacPet, for example, but that's not the point of this video. If you want a video talking about the monetization of this game and the issues with it, then definitely let me know in a comment below. But with that all being said, of course, if you appreciate this video, by the end of it, definitely subscribe for more so that you can keep learning more about the game and having a good time with me and the community. Also, pull up to the Twitch where you can interact with me live and ask you whatever you want and have a good time. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is this website called wackybeans.com. Now, wackybeans.com, I know it sounds like a stupid website, but this website is actually insanely overpowered at telling you what you can get based off of a million different things. So they have this EXP tab, and I'm going to set it up so that you can do only your dailies and see how far that you can get with a year. So what's cool about this website is it says over here, select all content you tend to do, even if you cannot access it yet. The calculator will automatically factor level restrictions where required. Let's say you're starting at level 200, but I have all these dailies selected. Obviously, you can't do them all at level 200, but it'll factor it into the calculation when you're able to do the daily. So it's super useful. So let's say you're doing all of your arcane symbol dailies, you're doing your Tenebris dailies, and you're doing your Sacred Force dailies. So up to 285, and obviously it'll only calculate it when you have them unlocked. Now, you do your Monster Park every day, which you should be doing. You do Monster Park Extreme every day, which you should be doing. No grinding, so zero grinding. You don't do your weeklies either, but you do your epic dungeon when you can do it, starting at level 260, and you like High Mountain because Anglerfish Company is annoying. You don't get any XP from events, so this is just like only dailies. Realistically, you would get some XP from events, but we'll talk about that in a bit. You don't use any growth potions, but you are hyper burning because most people, when they start playing this game, it's during the hyper burning period, and maybe they'll try to find a new main or they're new to the game or something like that. So let's say you are hyper burning and you start at level 200. We'll also look at this when you're not hyper burning. And we'll go for a year. So today is, well, actually today isn't January 26th. I don't know why it says that, but let's just say you go for 1 year. So from January 26, 2025 to January 26, 2026, let's see how far you get. Surprisingly, you'll actually hit level 280 with just doing your dailies. So when I found this out, typically when people ask me the question of, can you progress by just doing your dailies? I tell them, yeah, you can progress, but it's going to be slow and you can only get so far in the game because of many factors. Like you're not going to get a lot of fragments, you're not going to have that much damage, and your level isn't going to be too high. But when I saw that you can actually get to level 280 just from doing your dailies, and this is without event resources, this is without using any growth potions or anything like that, it kind of blew my mind, to be honest with you, how high level you can get just from doing dailies. So whether you're somebody who already has a main that's really high level and you just want to play a side character, this is also good information to you too, because you can get very high level if you're somebody who plays very consistently over a long time. So let's say you were not hyper burning because some people don't have access to it. What level would you get? 278, almost 279. So in the grand scheme of things, the hyper burning doesn't make a huge difference if you're a consistent player, but hyper burning obviously feels really good because at the start of your progression, that's one of the hardest points, is getting the ball rolling, and hyper burn helps you get the ball rolling faster. So I'm going to switch it back to hyper burning. And now let's say you actually do use event resources. So let's say you use all of the growth potions from all of the events throughout a year, and you get quite a lot of these growth potions. They give out like 4 or 5, sometimes even more per event. So let's say a safe amount like 20. Now let's say you might think this is a lot, but they really do give like at least 20 of these per year these days. And let's say you get about 4 transcendent potions because usually you get 2 every big event, and you calculate that now. So it'll bring you to 281, not that much higher, but still you can get quite a bit of XP just from that. Now what's interesting is events amplify the amount of XP that you get from your dailies and from Monster Park. So what I mean by this is very often during events, they will have these like event stats that you can amplify. So for example, my Monster Park XP is plus 40% right now, and I could do the same with my Arcane River dailies and Grandis dailies as well, where they'll give even more XP as well. So in reality, you would actually be higher than this, because if you're partaking in the event and you're not just doing dailies, then the daily XP would be amplified more, meaning that you'll be even further ahead. So let's say you use all of the XP tickets as well, and you do your Punch King every week during events. Now you get a lot of XP tickets per year, but I'm just gonna lowball it and say you use like 50,000 XP tickets and you get a score of like 500 Punch King, which is on the lower end, but you know, if you're playing for a while, you'll probably be able to break 500. Now it didn't change much, but still you're getting closer to level 282. In reality, you actually want to do this, but I'm just theorizing here. If you were to use all event resources on your main, the point is you can get pretty high level. Now, to be honest with you, a lot of this stuff, like using these potions, XP tickets, all this stuff, like you can see that it made not that much of a difference. Like all of this combined gave us maybe 1 extra level. So starting at level 280 or maybe 281 is when stuff gets like quite a bit slower on this game, and dailies are going to feel like they don't cut it anymore. And this is when you're probably going to want to introduce training into your gameplay to progress further at a much quicker rate. So you could do dailies for a year straight, get to level 280, and that's a really, really good point to be at in the game, especially if you want to have aspirations of reaching endgame. Just getting to 280 just through dailies and you don't really have to train, like that's really good, because ultimately if you want to get much stronger, you have to get fragments for your 6th job, and just training from 280 to 290 will probably give you all the fragments you need. So you can make an argument of like, oh, I'm level 280 through dailies, but I don't have that many fragments, I'm going to be super weak. Now, that's only partially true. You would have more fragments if you actively train to 280, but consider this. So this is another website that I'll have linked below where you can calculate your Soul Urta fragments and where you want to put them. So if you were to do dailies for a year, you would be doing your Soul Urta fragment dailies. And if you do that for a year, you'll get about 4,300 fragments throughout the year. Now, that's not a small amount of fragments, but it's not a crazy amount of fragments either. But the point is, with 4,300 fragments, you could definitely unlock all of your masteries and all of your skills. So you can see here how many this costs. If you're just doing dailies, you're not going to need to level Soul Janus because you're not really getting that much XP from killing mobs anyways, so you could leave that later and you could focus on your more important skills. Like let's say your mastery, you could get them to level 9. Depending on what class you are, you know, this build could be different for you, but typically people usually have a mastery that's really important that they level up a lot before they level up their other skills. So let's say you level your 2 masteries up and then you want to get one of your other skills as well. And this would be about the amount of frags that you get within 1 year. So that's not bad. Getting 1 mastery almost maxed, another one to 20, and then 2 skills at level 10. That's going to help you do quite a bit more damage. And this is only from dailies if you play for a year and you're very consistent, obviously. So now let's go back to this website and let's introduce a little bit of training. So in reality, if you were to just do your dailies, you would be about level 280 and you would have a bit of Hexa to you. And this would probably get you strong enough to be able to do Black Mage in a party for sure. Probably H Saren in a party as well, and everything below that. You could probably solo C10 and all those bosses below just from doing your dailies for a year straight. So if you're watching this video and you're like, how do I progress? Do I really need to spend like 10 hours a day to progress? You don't have to spend that much time a day to progress. You could just do your dailies. Now, admittedly, dailies can take a long time. Like they could take like over 30 minutes a day or even an hour a day. But the whole point of this video is to show you that your progression is not necessarily completely bricked if you don't train that much. Obviously, if you train a lot, you'll progress way further, and there's going to be a point where you're going to have to train to keep progressing, but you can still get a very enjoyable, fulfilling experience from this game just from doing your dailies and play with your friends and stuff like that. But it's true, if you want to make it to late game and beyond, you're gonna have to train. But now let's introduce a bit of training. Let's say we train for an hour a day and we're gonna be training in Hotel Arcus. We're gonna be considering this map as our area to train because it has familiars, and obviously if you train in higher level areas, like if you train in Shangri-La or if you train in Odium, you'll get even more XP, but we're gonna lowball this calculation and train in in a level 265 map in Hotel Arcus because you get FAMs. It has 18k kill rate, which is pretty good. And we just want to see how far you can get. So if we're full clearing, we would be killing about this many mobs per hour. And then this is how much XP you get if you're not using any coupons at all. But if we're training about an hour a day, you should be able to have coupons from events, Sunny Sunday Monster Park, Legion 2x coupons, and whatnot. So I'm going to change this number to how much XP you would get per mob if you were to use multipliers like 2x, MVP, Gold Pot, and your Legion board, your link skills, and everything. It's still not going to be a 100% accurate number because of things like rune XP that doesn't get factored in, or event XP that increases how much mob you get, how much XP you get per mob, or event procs that give you even more XP. Like if you remember the previous event that had like the Von Leon thing, like that thing gave you a lot of XP, or the boosters that are going on in this event right now. So keep in mind that this is a very low ball estimate, and in reality you would be getting much more XP than this if you were to be training an hour a day. So this is how much XP you would get with like 2x, MVP, Gold Pot, Holy Symbol. You have your Rune, Elven Blessing, all that stuff. But keep in mind this number again would be much higher because of the things I listed before. And in the end, you would end up at level 262, 78% with just your dailies and training for 1 hour a day. So in total, this is about an hour and a half to 2 hours of playing every single day for a year. Now, again, I want to make this clear. You would be higher level than this. You'd probably be closer to 284 just because of all the event resources and how much they amplify how much XP you get whenever you're playing during that time. So now let's say you're a Wapper. You finished your Meso drop gear. Maybe you bought a Vac Pet and you're able to train 2 hours a day. So you're killing double the amount of mobs per day. And now it takes you to 284, 32.5%. And again, because of event resources and everything like that, you definitely would be over 285. So if you're somebody who only does dailies, you would be at least level 280. If you're somebody who trains at least an hour a day, you would probably be around 283, 284. And if you're somebody who trains 2 hours a day plus does all their dailies, they would be over level 285. So my conclusion to the question of, can I progress on this game through just dailies? Do I have to play many, many hours every single day to progress? The answer is yes, you can progress with just 3 dailies or training an hour a day or training 2 hours a day. Of course, the people who train 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day, of course, they're going to be ahead of you. Naturally, you know, they should be ahead of you. They train way more, but it's not impossible to progress just by doing your dailies. Definitely not. What it really shows is if you know what you're doing, if you educate yourself, you know what dailies to do, you know how to train, all those types of things, you will progress. And it's all about consistency. This game is all about consistency. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You just have to do a little bit every single day and it will add up over a long time. This is just 1 year. Many people play this game for multiple years. And of course, some people don't play this game for a year at all and they won't progress as much. But I just wanted to show you guys this. Also, there's no better way to educate yourself on this game than subscribing and watching the videos that I put out. I put a lot of work into them. I stream all the time if you want to pull up on stream and ask me questions so you can learn how to train, what dailies to do, how to be optimized, because you can progress. It's possible. You can do it. I believe in you guys. And obviously, if this video helped you out, maybe consider helping me out by subscribing, pulling up to the Twitch like I said, and let me know what you think about this. Have you guys been playing this game through dailies only? Let me know your progression stories in a comment below. I do read all the comments. With that being said though, I appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much to my members, Blazefire, Shooms, Shagad, Ravi Espa, Koga, Piconir, Skittles, Dante Victory, CK, J, Blunt Poppy Supreme Oil Backwards, Vampiric X, Fresh and Juicy, Assassin, and Migu. I appreciate you guys so much, and shout out to everyone who submitted fan art. If you always want to submit fan art, it's in the Discord linked below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.